Greetings and wonderful. Thank you for being here today. Yes, bless you, bless you, bless you. And yes, we're here today to talk a wonderful little subject matter about our young men. Yes, the young men. Boys to be men. Yes. You know how the old movie said, boys to be men, boys to men. Well, today we see so many times whereas our young men are still not mature and not prepared to become head of the house, leaders, taking over the situation of being a man, the function of manhood, all that good stuff. So what happened? What's going on? What's the problem? But maybe we can understand this in a problem in a story, because there's sometimes how a young man can take over and come to that place of maturity under fire. Yes, sometimes things can happen, whereas they're just put in that place, they're put in that situation. Yes, right here, right now, we must do what we have to do. And the story goes like, I said not a once upon a time, but the story goes to a young man around 19 years old was on a date. And the date was a young girl, a little bit younger than he is. In fact, she wasn't even legal at the time because, in the older days, things happen a little different than what they do now, right? So anyway, they was out on a date. So he brought the girl home. And before they go inside, so the girl go inside, the guy decided he wanted to have a little romantic interlude. The little situation goes on a nice hot summer night and everything, feeling is right and all that good stuff. So in the course of their intimate relationship, intimacy, the father comes out with a shotgun. And and they were like, okay, in the middle of the situation. So the father says, you have a choice. You have a choice. Either you marry her or 20 years in jail. Needless to say, the guy took the marriage part. But 20 years later, well, we don't say that. Okay, one day, where the wife now, house, water house, job, career, children, the whole nine, cars, everything, right? So, the wife wakes up one morning, and her husband is not next to her, early in the morning, and like, where is he? What's going on? Maybe he go to the bathroom. So, she checked the bathroom, he's not there in the bathroom. So, she wanders through the house, goes downstairs, he's sitting at the breakfast table, and drinking a cup of coffee because she smelled the aroma of the coffee before she even got to the kitchen. Like, what's going on here? He's made him a pot of coffee to sit down there and eating a bagel or croissant, something like that. And he was just sitting back, relaxing. So she said, what's going on? What's the matter? He said, oh, nothing much. Then he said, wait a minute. You remember how we got together and how your father gave me an ultimatum about marrying you? She said, yeah, I remember that situation that night. He said, my father came out with a shotgun. Yeah. And he said, and that shotgun did something. Because it put me in that position, to put the situation where I had to make a choice. And I had to make a choice right then and there as to what to do. He said, and today is my 20th year. I'm out of jail today. You know what I mean? So anyway, they talked, they laughed about it a little bit. So, but anyway, the point of it is that he had 20 years of association with his wife. 20 years from, I say, from 18 to 38 now? And he maneuvered. He came to a place of maturity within those 20 years because I don't know if the father was still living or not, they didn't say, but the point of it is that he had a choice or facing that shotgun, or facing that jail cell. And then he said no. He faced the shotgun and got married. They got situated. So this is what happens so many times with our young men. Sometimes they get put in a position of a situation where they have to take a chance, take authority. They have to take a hold of a situation because something happened. Maybe the father died, or whoever was in charge crossed over, and now they have to step up. And so we see too many times that our young men are not stepping up in a lot of places, whereas they did before. And then sometimes even now, they're like placed in that position to step up. In order to step up, they had to become the provider. They had to become the defender. They had to become the comforter. They had to become the place of knowing how to do things, how to negotiate the financial situation. They had to move and maneuver the place because not being prepared a lot of times. So they have to go ask questions. They have to seek. They have to research. They had to do a lot of things in order to keep things moving and keep things going in the right direction. So when we're talking about raise up a child the way it should go, when you get older, he will not depart. But sometimes that child is put in that position, put in that situation where it's either do or die, sink or swim. And so many times, in order to survive, you got to start to swimming, Jim. Now, this is what happened to this young man. And this is what happens to so many of the young men out there today. So, sometimes under fire will cause you to do things that you wouldn't never think about before. So sometimes we like come from different situations, different home, family style situation and conditions and stuff that, well, we don't want to take that chance. We don't do this, don't do that. And we make babies. We don't take care of them. We don't see the babies. We don't know the babies. And when they get grown, get older, oh well, it's too late now. No, my brother, it's never too late. Go back and make amends to your children. Go back and know your children. Go back and get reintroduced to your children. Even if you don't have a situation of a relationship with their mother, know your child. Raise up your child. Speak to your child. Get to know your child. Get to know the situation that's hurting them. Get to know the situation that makes them want to ask questions. So this is what this guy had to do. He had to ask questions. His father-in-law was right there on his case, but he didn't mind. He didn't mind because, after all, look how he got into that situation. Look at what he happened. So too many times, we let that little flesh, that little situation, that little so-called, I'm in love, that little feeling, get in our way of how we're supposed to do things. So we're just here to encourage each other today not to let life and life situation, lifestyle get involved with our living condition, get involved with our future. Know that there is a hope. Know that there's a situation that's going about. Know that we have the confidence and the strength to stand in these days. But sometimes we're going to make mistakes. Sometimes we're going to have failures. Sometimes we're going to face a storm that's going to be a little overwhelming. Sometimes you might have to say a couple of words that may not sound too good. But then make amends. That's what you call forgiveness. That's what you call being committed. Know that commitment. Know discipline. Know value. Know how to say trust and confidence. Not just confidence, but know that in having a relationship, you have to have that commitment in order to be faithful. In order to be faithful. So he didn't go in there all knowing, all situated, all prepared. No, he was out there in the backseat of his car being prepared for life and didn't even know it because the circumstances, the situation brought him to that place. And that's why so many times that we come into that place where we're caught between a rock and two hard places. We're caught with nothing, going from ground zero to rebuild, to reboot, to restructure. And this is what happens sometimes. That's why we have to think, we have to meditate, we have to pray. We have to really have that knowledge, not only say the knowledge, but we learn every day and every hour of what, how, when, and who are we going to trust. So we know who to trust. Oh yeah. But in the meantime, knowing that the value of life is more important than where we came from. Because as we travel forward and go forward, then we'll know even more how we can get through the situation, get over the situation, going over the bridge, over the troubled water. Sometimes you have to go up high, go up to where the eagles fly. Sometimes you have to go a little bit different and more than the average person. Sometimes you just have to stick it out. Sometimes you have to sit down and think about things, think about the situation. Know who you are, know what you're about, but then learn, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep trying, and keep traveling, going forward at all time, and have that vision, have that confidence. Speak of those things that are not as though they are. But you don't have faith at first. You have to learn faith. And it's a learning situation in life. Just because you're there in that place where you had to start in a situation where out of a troubled environment, a troubled situation, now what are you going to do? Keep going, keep trying. Have the determination that you're going to make it. Have that determination that you're going to prepare and protect. And then have the determination that you're going to make the best of this day and every day. And this is what we are about in life, and life goes. So with that in mind, wonderful people, we just wanted to come by just to encourage you. Just because you don't have a silver spoon in your mouth, just because you wasn't built to that situation where you had a mentor, a trainer, a coach, and your daddy and granddaddy was so nice and wonderful to teach you all these good things. Sometimes you have to come out of that wilderness experience, come off of that desert, come out of the battlefield, and then know that I have to do this. Know that you take the right choice. Rather than to be in jail, sitting down, going through some changes there, get on that battlefield, go to work, do the work that you're supposed to do, and then you'll be surprised when you put your trust and put your hope and put your confidence in the right place and the right person. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep moving up. Yes, it might be hard. Yeah, it says it's going to be hard. You know what I mean? But then again, that's what life is about. The trust factor. Yes, discipline, confidence. The willingness to make those mistakes and then correct those mistakes. Yes, keep going, keep moving up. So with that in mind, thank you for being with us again today. And thank you for holding on. Thank you for sharing. And yes, come on, please. Share this out. Let somebody know that there is hope. There's hope. And just because the young man make a mistake, not only make a mistake, but a bad judgment, maybe something happened to him, maybe he had to go under fire in order to be mature, so be it. So be it. But don't give up your life. Don't give up your, your situation, whereas you take a chance on losing your life. But no, hold to your life, but then build on the goodness of your life. And it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So thank you for being with us. Like I said, share this and come over to YouTube and then join us. Yes, join us. We're also on Instagram and also on Twitter and Facebook. Yes, you'll find us. All right, now go to people in love. All right, and we'll see you soon and very soon, because we're going to have a program that's coming up with messages on Zoom about divorcing porn, lust, sexual addiction, and any other addiction that we're going to touch on. Yes, because so many times we're addicted to situations where we don't even know that we have addiction. We have situation going where, oh well, it was just something that happened. No, you was addicted to it. You was addicted. And addiction can come about so subtle and so easy upon you. So let's get over the addictions, and we're gonna make it much better. With that in mind, take care, be blessed, and be blessed. This is Michael Jones, speaker of the gospel, inspirational speaker, life coach, and writer of inspirational and motivational reads. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye now.